All right, what's going on, Legion fans? This is another episode of our Mutant Mayhem podcast.
Mutant Mayhem!
Man, where we are
back
just
at it. It has been a
tearing-
minute.
We're tearing apart those X-Men movies.
We had to take
They're
a
so
break.
bad.
They
We
were
did.
so bad.
It was.
We
It
needed
hurt
to do
me.
some comic perfection before jumping back into this Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah, because this one's really bad.
We
have
had
two
to
more.
really pace.
We have two more.
I'm
and
not going to
they're
make it.
Bad.
I'm not going to make it to the end of this,
Well,
Greg.
hey, you know what?
This one is so bad.
We haven't seen New Mutants yet, though. It might be good.
No, it won't.
It
No,
got-
it
It
won't.
got like single digits on Rotten
I know.
Tomatoes.
That's what I'm saying. We have
Yeah.
said that these
It's
are in descending
descending
order of terribleness.
Yeah, yeah.
And
quality goes down.
We are now about to do the second to
you.
worst.
I'm telling you, man. Well, if you remember,
This is our fourth one of these.
when we recorded Apocalypse.
Right.
You hadn't seen Dark Phoenix yet. And
I hadn't.
I told
You
you
warned
it
me.
was worse.
Was
it worse?
It was much worse.
It was
Man,
just so bad.
Apocalypse deserves an Oscar.
What?
Compared
Let's
to
not go that
this,
far.
compared to this
Well,
hot
maybe,
garbage.
Yeah, maybe that's true. It was pretty bad. Hey,
Oh my gosh.
you know what? I need to get. We're gonna. It'll be instantaneous for everyone listening at home.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take some time because I didn't get any of the box office stuff up.
You didn't get any of that up?
No.
Oh, okay.
Where's your computer?
It's right here, sir.
That is
Right here.
That
This
is not. I started typing in Dark Phoenix box office for Box Office Mojo.
Garbage.
Well, no, the first thing that comes up is Dark Phoenix box office bomb.
Bomb. Yeah, I'm sure. I have no doubt of that.
Mojo.
My computer is right here. We don't need roads where we're going.
All right, so one is what was the budget? What was the gross?
The budget? The budget. Actually, here. You know what? Here's a fun exercise.
Well, let me
Here's
get it
a
up,
fun
then you can-
exercise.
You
Get
can
it
guess.
up. Get it up, and I will guess on it.
There's more to this than you thought, right? I'm
Right.
over here typing.
I know you are. There's a lot you got to do. I've done this before. I know what it takes.
Dark Pohenix.
Pohenix. Dark Pohenix.
Oh, I like that.
That was good.
That's staying in the podcast.
original. That's original.
Is it?
It's free.
I think it was. I haven't heard it before.
That's right.
All right.
I toss those out there every now and then.
Just for charity.
Just for charity.
All right. How much?
Yeah, I know.
How much do you think the budget is?
I'm going to say.
Go ahead.
I got a feeling. I got it in my
You looked
noggin.
this up. Did
No,
you
I
look
didn't.
it up?
I did
All
not
right,
look
what
it
do you
up.
think
I
it
promise
is?
you, $200 million.
It is 200 million. Exactly.
Yes!
200 million.
Yes! I did not look that up. I knew with the amount of CGI that they put into this that it was 200 million. I knew it. It was 200 or it was 225, but I didn't think it was going to go that high. $200 million. I knew it.
All right. Well, if you haven't figured out, this is the Carnage Report.
Yeah. Let me get the gross.
All right. Let's see. All right. So 200 million is our budget. We
Okay.
always go over budget. We always
Yep.
go over cast. We always go over source material. So hit the nail on the head. 200 million for the budget.
200 million.
All right.
That was
What
the
do you
easier
think?
one.
What do you
That was the
think
easier
the
one.
worldwide gross was for this?
Worldwide gross,
Yeah.
I think, was 223 million.
You're really close.
What is it?
It's really sad. 252 million.
252. That is that is
so
ballpark.
bad, right?
That
you
is
were right
ballpark.
there. You were right there.
They didn't even break even with what they
No
definitely
way.
did for marketing
for
this thing.
advertising and everything. Oh my
Yeah.
word! I mean,
They took at least
they only made it 52 million over their budget.
At least $150 million loss on this. At least
Oh
150.
man! Well, and they still finished New Mutants. I know New Mutants was in
I know.
it was
but they
in
were
limbo
saying there was-
forever, but
Yeah, but the thing about New Mutants was it was a whole new launching of mutants, right?
They were doing the horror genre mutants.
Right. So they were trying
Trash.
to do something completely different.
Trash.
But Dark
Trash.
Phoenix literally
Wow.
killed the
Wow.
the first class mutant storyline. They
Oh,
killed
yeah.
it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
destroyed it. It's so bad.
Yeah,
it
they're not
ended
coming back
them.
from that.
No,
Oh, my.
you're not coming back from that.
Goodness.
No, not at all. Especially given the big names that they have on this.
Yeah.
Why would they spend this money only to have this much loss? That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
it's
it is
crazy.
a ton of that is also tied up in salaries.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you've got
we got
at
big
this,
names.
At this
we got
point,
big names returning.
These aren't small names
no, they're big
anymore.
now.
They're big now. Michael Fassbender commands money. James McAvoy commands money.
Yeah,
Jennifer Lawrence, same thing. She won Oscars at this point.
Yeah, and James McAvoy just came off of Split.
Right.
Split did a really good job. And
at this point, if this is 2019, he also probably had already filmed Mr. Glass.
Oh, yeah, probably.
He had filmed Glass.
Yeah, he probably had. Yeah. Well, so speaking of cast, we get everybody back. It's crazy. I don't know how they probably signed the contract.
It's a
probably
contract,
what it was.
man. They had to have signed a certain
they had to have, because
movie
they would have
number
never
contract.
gone back
There's
for this.
No way McAvoy.
No.
And here's the thing, Fassbender isn't even trying in this movie anymore. I don't know if you
No.
realize,
No,
but he
phoned it in. Yeah, he
in.
phoned it in. Even though I will say, like most of these movies, he was my favorite part. Like, he was so
well,
good.
sure, but he's
Him
realizing
and McAvoy were both real good.
He's realizing
Oh, yeah,
at this
it's
point,
done.
like it's done,
Nobody cares.
it's over, nobody cares. He has one emotion in this movie anymore, and it's just like the same
It's
thing
actually
he does
kind of
every
nice
time.
though, because Magneto's given up at this point. So
Right,
he's just
exactly.
given up.
Exactly.
So we get James McAvoy back as Professor X, Michael Fassbender as Magneto. We get Jennifer Lawrence as like we talk about Fassbender phoned in. My word.
Oh, she
was literally just
forget it.
I mean, spoiler if you haven't seen it. This is a pretty recent movie.
That's fair.
She dies in it.
Yeah.
Mystique dies in it, and you could just see she's like, just kill my character. Just kill my character. Get me out of here as fast as possible.
Probably winning an Oscar, she was able to negotiate her way
probably,
out.
Yeah, she was like,
kill
so
her
Mystique
off.
should die, and as soon as possible.
Dead, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, well, she's in Nicholas Holt's back as Beast, and I'll say he's the one who phoned it in the least, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was solid. I thought he did a great job. Ty Sheridan comes back as Cyclops.
Well, except for one. I will say, and this is who probably you're getting to next, the actor who played Nightcrawler.
Oh,
he did not
so
phone
great.
it in at all.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that his emotions and his actions make no sense for that point in the movie.
Right, and we'll talk about him.
So it's like his acting it's like fine, it's great. You didn't phone it in, except you shouldn't have had those emotions or actions.
Poorly.
You were written.
Yeah, he was
like
written poorly.
Completely wrong.
For Kurt, for definitely. So Cody Smith-McPhee comes back as Kurt Wagner.
Right.
Nightcrawler. We do get Evan Peters again coming back as Quicksilver, which is great. Alexandra Shipp is back as Storm, which again
means
cool.
nothing. She's not in this movie at all.
Yeah, she's very, very minor in it. Sophie Turner's back as Jean Grey, and then we get Jessica Chastain coming in as a new character.
How?
Vuk. What a terrible name.
Oh man,
now,
that's probably what she said something close to that when this movie came out.
Yes, she said Vuk.
She said Vuk when this movie came out.
Yeah, we have to really make sure we enunciate that
Vuk.
name. Now, in her defense, that is the name of the character in the comics. So
sure,
that is an
it's
accurate
the name.
name.
I agree.
Vuk is a real character, and
it's also a very guttural and emotional response.
Well, now both in the no, not in the movie, but in the comics, Vuk was the last of the Dabari, so he probably did have a guttural response to the Phoenix. But anyway, so we get all those guys back. And regardless of the star power, we still see doesn't matter what kind of star power you have, if you do not stick to your parameters, stick to your source material, and stick to a good storyline, it's going to be a bad movie. And it was
everything that we've said.
Movie.
This isn't hard at this point. We've done a whole bunch of these, and we know that the formula that messes up is you don't stick to your parameters, you don't set parameters, is even worse. You don't set parameters is even worse than not sticking to your parameters. And then just completely disregarding your source material.
Yeah. And
it's a recipe for
story writing,
disaster.
Man. Lazy story writing. All right. 22% for the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, which I totally
generous.
I'm okay with that because I've seen way worse. We've watched way worse.
Watched worse.
So 22 is what I don't agree. Is
don't tell me
the
this.
audience
Just
score?
Don't tell me it.
Listen to this, man. The audience score, who apparently are not Marvel fans, gave it a 64%. It's a certified fresh for audience.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, 64% is fresh for audience. Yeah, I don't.
That's garbage.
I don't get it.
That's garbage.
It's not even like
fans. What are we doing out here?
I could understand.
Come on, people.
I can understand.
We got to raise our bar for what is expected of comic book movies.
If the movie was trash, right? but Phoenix was done well, and like she was played by a captivating actress.
Sure.
Sophie Turner is a good actress. She just did not fit in this movie.
No.
She did not fit the Jean Grey character. So I could understand if the movie was trash, but Jean Grey was done wonderfully, I could see an audience score giving it a 64.
Yeah,
but
I could be
Jean
with
Grey
that.
was trash,
I could understand
and the
why
movie
they
was
did it.
trash.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
Well, and here's the other thing. We've seen some higher scores from superhero movies pre-MCU release.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So we've seen some higher scores, like for
I think even
comic
the
book
first
movies.
Fantastic Four movie did better than this.
Right. But my point is, this came out in 2019.
Right.
We've seen what what a good superhero movie can be.
Yeah.
And they're still giving this a 64? Come on.
I don't know, man. It's not even like, for me, it's not even like fans coming in to say it's good to hope we get more. Because at this point, we've exhausted this cast.
It's done.
Well, even if
this cast is exhausted.
People are done.
They're
with
tired.
Yeah,
just let them go.
They
need a
let
nap.
Let it end.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So source material is easy. It's just the Dark Phoenix saga, and they actually we did Last Stand a couple weeks ago or a month or so ago.
Last Stand. No, Apocalypse.
No. I'm saying the Last Stand was the other Dark Phoenix movie.
Oh yeah,
right?
we did. Yes,
so we did Last Stand.
Even further back. Yeah, further back.
We did Last Stand.
Yeah.
And this one is closer.
I would have preferred it. I would have preferred Last Stand to this.
Oh yeah, 100%. As a movie,
it is better.
As a movie, yes, but this was closer to the comic source material. It was. We have to say that it was closer. They had some things they were closer character-wise. They had there were some things that were closer than Last Stand was.
Sure.
But it did worse.
Right.
It was way worse. I would watch Last Stand every night over this movie.
Oh yeah.
Last Stand was actually kind of fun, even though it was a bad comic book movie. It was kind of fun. This one wasn't even fun.
Right.
Like I was almost falling asleep in it. It was like, what is happening? Why is nothing going on?
I'm pretty sure I fell asleep.
Nothing
in the
happened.
Middle chunk. I don't remember the middle chunk
The
at
end
all.
fight was kind of entertaining, but like
I don't even think the end. I know the end fight. I don't think
like
the
on
end
the
fight
train
was that
in the city.
I didn't see it as that entertaining.
But I mean, at least it was something. At least they moved.
Yeah, but it was
also
only
like 10% of the movie.
You had so much disappointment and drop off in character powers
100%.
from Apocalypse to this. Like, you saw what was going to happen, for example, with, like, when Magneto was on the train. And he had all the guns and all the metal.
They've done that before.
Yeah.
Do something new.
We've done this. We already saw what was going to happen here, people. We already know where this is going.
We do. And you know where it's going?
To the garbage.
And a comic correction.
Oh, yeah.
Let's jump into our correction. All right, so we have a few sins. We usually do 3 main sins.
I got to tell you.
So we got a few main sins to go through.
Legion fans, I got to tell you right now.
Yeah, tell them.
Greg is much more angry about this than I am.
Dude.
I am so apathetic to this.
I know.
Like, I'm don't get me wrong. I am angry and disappointed by this.
Sure.
Like, but you are on another level today.
Listen, I'm a big
you came with
X-Men
pages upon
fan.
pages of notes.
I
here.
did.
And I'm glad.
I'm
ready to talk about what I'm angry about. But normally I'm the angry one, and today you are angry.
It's been a long day, man.
You started off by shouting at me.
Well, it's because we've been now doing this for almost a year.
I know.
And you've been the shouter. I've been like, I need to get to it, man.
I have corrupted him.
You have. What have you awoken?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. We'll find out today. So what is our first one we're kicking off with today?
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave the biggest one for last because the one that makes me the angriest.
Like we never do that.
I know. Well, but it's first on my notes.
Okay.
So it makes me want to do it first, but I'm not going to. So first things first. Just bad movie in general and the poor pacing. Same story arcs, no risks. It's just boring, man. It's so boring.
It's so boring.
Super long movie.
There's an exact moment when it gets really boring. Okay, and you and I have agreed on this. The first 20 minutes of this movie
great.
are great.
So much fun. I have that right here. I have it written right here.
Perfect.
Yeah. Space mission.
They address the space mission.
Yeah.
Phoenix is an actual being from space.
Right.
Which is
great.
It's we never get to address.
So
we
good.
never get to see that actually played out. People in movies always shy away from that, but it's actual a space entity.
Go to the cosmic, man.
It becomes essentially a symbiote of Phoenix. No, I'm sorry. It becomes a symbiote of Jean Grey.
Yeah, well, it latches onto her.
Right.
It senses her power and the ability to contain it.
She's the only one who can contain it.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah.
It senses how powerful she can be.
That's right.
So getting that whole storyline is awesome.
Oh, and and Kurt transporting people into the ship.
Yep.
And Quicksilver running real quick and unhooking everybody and passing them.
Yes.
And it was just cool. It was like, here we go. We talked about this before, right? Team battles and team whatever in comic book movies always struggle. And we always go back to, it's hilarious, but we go back to The Incredibles because they do it the best.
Right.
This was that, man.
Well,
the family working together to do all the different things. It was great.
Except for one person. Who's completely worthless.
Mystique just sat there.
She sat there and barked orders that nobody listened to.
I guess Beast was kind of worthless, too.
They used him for something, at least. He
Yeah,
flew the plane. He knows how to fly the plane. Mystique sat in the front seat, barked orders at people.
She's a leader.
Nobody listened to her.
Well, it is what it is. So, yeah, the space mission
other than
was
that,
great.
space mission was great.
It was great. But
they come back.
After they come back, dude.
Right.
It is almost an entire 60 minutes before Jean leaves and kills Mystique in the city.
I'm with you.
It's almost a whole hour.
But
nothing else
hear
happens.
You didn't let me finish.
Go ahead.
We have one moment, which is a
right.
One.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
I like that.
An apprehensive moment.
Right.
Right before you see the villains, okay, when the dog is barking and Jessica Chastain's character goes out,
right,
and you're looking out in the trees and you're like, what the heck are they looking
at?
Yeah. And then you see movement between the trees and you're like, oh, that was phenomenal. And then the exact next moment happens.
Garbage.
They immediately reveal what the villains look like, and you're like, I am not afraid of these things.
Garbage.
I am no longer interested. And the rest of this movie is boring.
Garbage. Well, okay, so poor pacing made it boring.
Made it incredibly boring.
Same old story arcs of Magneto running away and then finding out he lost something and then coming to the good side and then maybe to the bad side and then coming to help at the end. It's all the same stuff that we've heard.
It's that exactly what you just said.
Same
but
thing.
Instead of Magneto, it's Phoenix.
Well, no, even Magneto does it because Magneto's like, oh, I'll help Phoenix.
But he doesn't run away. The running away part, the thing is, it's almost like they do it double.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is it's almost like they do it double.
Yeah, it's bad, man. So there are rumors all over, nothing completely substantiated, but rumors from cast members, including James McAvoy and Ty Sheridan.
Yeah.
That huge changes were made during the reshoots. Including the idea. There always is, but this one's big.
A movie in reshoot. Do you know a movie in reshoots that has done well?
Yeah.
What movie?
Endgame had reshoots.
That substantial of ones?
Yeah. Well, no, because the only reason you do this substantial is when you need to change something or something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
And here, I want to elaborate on what went wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the bad guys ended up being an alien race called the Dabari. And now the Dabari are from the comics. We'll get to that when we talk about our final greatest sin. But they replaced an original villain, which the rumor is it was the Skrulls, right? Which are shapeshifters.
Which would have made sense.
Which makes sense because the Dabari in the comic or in the movie shapeshifts. The Dabari in the comics cannot shapeshift.
Can't do that.
They don't. So,
not a thing.
But the Skrulls can. And so they couldn't change everything, but they changed that. And the biggest reason they changed that was because Marvel, this same time, pushed forward Captain Marvel And it came out. It was supposed to come out after Dark Phoenix. It came out
Right.
before Dark Phoenix and revealed the Skrulls as their
Man,
villain.
Marvel does a great job with that.
They're
They
the
just
best, man. They
undercut,
swoop right in.
Undercut.
Well, and they gave us a great Skrull storyline with.
Sure they did.
I mean, incredible.
We enjoyed it. Yeah.
And then, so apparently, the reshoots involved changing the storyline from the Skrulls to the Dabari, which changed entirely who Jessica Chastain's character even was.
Right.
So she didn't. I don't think she willingly chose to be Vuk. She just happened to change into Vuk after they had to switch things. So apparently, the very end battle, in this storyline, was not on a train. Originally, it was in space, fighting a Skrull spaceship.
I don't know if I really would be more
No.
invested. in this.
Listen.
Okay.
How did Captain Marvel end?
Captain Marvel flew outside of the spaceship and threatened.
She destroyed. She flew through and fought the Skrulls, or the. It wasn't. We thought it was going to be the Skrull, but it ended up being the Kree spaceship.
Yeah.
And it ended in a big space battle with her flaming and red, and blowing through ships. And so they looked at it.
Yeah,
they were
but then she went in front of the one and she threatened.
Right. Ronan left.
Yeah, and Ronan left.
But the fact of the matter
the destroyers,
is, this was supposed to end that way, and they looked at it like, we can't just release.
So they were going to
another
release
movie,
the exact same movie,
the exact same ending, and so they changed it to being on a train.
Yeah,
and that was the bulk of the reshoots, was them having the big fight with the Dabari on the train instead of Phoenix letting loose her whole power and going up into space and fighting in space.
Okay, so I hear you on that, and that makes sense.
Sure.
Somebody still sat in a room and was like, let's put him on a train.
Yeah. Oh.
Somebody
it was
still
trash.
sat in a room.
Oh yeah.
And pitched this idea.
And they said okay.
And they said yes to it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying this was bad storytelling here.
Right.
Because they were like, I mean, they should have just stuck with their guns. Just do the same. Do it. You already did it. Just do it.
That's what
and
the
see
thing
what
about
happens.
That's the thing about it. So there's been a bunch of movies, even outside of
the comic book world.
Yeah, I'll give you an example of one of my favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
The story of Wyatt Earp. Okay.
Yeah.
Tombstone and Wyatt Earp came out in the exact same year. And I love both of these movies.
They're great.
I love the story of Wyatt Earp. They gave two different perspectives.
Yeah.
One focused on the OK Corral.
Right.
One was his entire life story.
Right.
And was an epic. It was 4 hours long with Kevin Costner, which is phenomenal. I'm going to just tell you right now.
You can't have enough Kevin Costner.
Got to get more Kevin Costner in your life. But my point is, they didn't shy away from that one's
somebody
doing
else
Wyatt Earp.
did it.
We're doing Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
No, they put out there what was their best effort and what they thought was their best story, and they let the audience decide.
Exactly.
And that's what they should have done.
They should have done it.
They should have allowed the audience to decide what did I want to see here.
Yeah, and apparently, I mean, and obviously McAvoy and Sheridan are going to say this, but apparently it was way more cohesive. Though I agree. I have to agree because the original plan was way more thought out because it wasn't scrambling to change something to make it different. So any kind of major reshoots like that is always going to mess up with the continuity.
It's always
going to
change the continuity, and it's always going to make it a problem.
And one of the biggest crimes against the comic characters came because of this change.
Sure, right? Exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right. Major issue that you can tell because you get to that point in the movie where the villains get introduced. And you just one, don't care.
Yeah.
2, aren't that afraid of them.
Yeah.
And 3, don't really understand why they're there.
Yeah. And again, the motivation of the Dabari wanting to take the Phoenix power just
right.
It didn't fit. It didn't work. And you even see some of they had to kind of mix some of the scenes where they interact. And have it work with that. It didn't really work. You could listen to some of the conversations where Jessica Chastain had with Jean Grey in the bar and everything. Different conversations didn't seem to fit later on decisions that they made because they were part of the original story, whatever it happened to be.
It wasn't what they were going to do.
What was you were thinking of one? What was one of the crimes you were thinking of?
My crime is I have a name for it. I have a title.
Okay, yeah.
I got a title
like your
for
title.
it. You like my title?
Yeah.
oh, I'm afraid. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. So I already talked about when the villains get introduced.
Yeah.
It is actually very much like when the aliens get introduced in Signs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Started out real good.
You remember from Signs, the aliens are in the first time we see the picture of an alien is actually in this video footage from a birthday party.
Yeah,
and you're like, what are they looking at? What's going on here?
And then it's like,
and then the alien creepily walks
oh
across.
Man, I remember in the theaters I was
my
myself,
skin crawled.
Yeah.
I was like, is that here right now?
Yeah,
Am I about to see an alien?
It's like the original Slender Man.
Right.
It was
real
creepy,
messed up,
man.
real creepy. That is exactly the same sort of feeling I got when she's out there with the dog. The dog is barking. You're looking at the trees, and you're like, what is going on? And then you see the trees move.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, no.
It's getting real.
Okay.
It's getting real.
Something's out here. The problem with this is then they immediately turn around and show you exactly what the villain looks like. And it is so poorly CGI'd that it looks terrible. Good. And you're like, oh, I'm actually not afraid of that. So it's like the end of Signs when you finally see the actual CGI'd alien. And you're like, I'm no longer. This is no longer a horror film.
And you realize water can kill them.
And you realize water can kill them.
The earth is made mostly of water.
And
so.
they did poor planning.
We got
in this part. We got you.
Wrong planet to invade.
You didn't do your research, sir.
Yeah.
But in this one, normally any horror movie, and this isn't a horror movie. This isn't a horror movie. Sure. But
you still want to create
set up
suspense.
really well to create this suspense.
Yeah.
And what you do when in suspense, in a thriller or anything like that, you delay people actually getting to see what anything really, like whatever the villain, whatever the monster, whatever it looks like completely. And the reason for that is because studies have shown that your mind will create a worse picture.
Right.
Your absolute worst fears outweigh anything that anybody can put on a screen.
Yeah.
So because of that, directors have learned to space out when they actually do a reveal, and some don't even ever
show the whole
reveal
thing. Yeah, for
the entire monster, villain, alien, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They don't ever reveal it because they know the suspense is worse than whatever they could show on the screen.
Yeah.
The problem here is they don't even wait a heartbeat.
No.
She doesn't even turn. She gets it immediately.
Yeah.
And we see what it looks like, and we're
it's
like,
bad.
This is not good. This is not $200 million of CGI good.
No.
This is really bad. So that was mine.
No. Yeah.
Mine was like, oh my gosh, why am I now watching this? I have no investment in the movie anymore because of how they look and how poorly they did that scene. It immediately turned me off to the rest of the movie because I thought I was gearing up for like some sort of thriller, some sort of suspense.
Sure.
And then I don't get that at all. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm going to check out here, people. These things don't scare me.
Yeah. Well, it takes you out of it. It takes you out of the
experience. It takes you completely out of it.
Especially in 2019. I mean, you can look back at Signs. When did Signs come out? Like 2004?
Wait,
2003, something like that.
Yeah.
When Signs came out, it was like, it was freaky. And like, it is what it is. It's an old movie. But like in 2019, if your monsters don't look good.
Right.
Like if they. Look at Stranger Things.
Right.
Like, if your monster doesn't look like Stranger Things, like, you can't feel the ooze dripping off of it as it's coming towards you.
Right.
If it doesn't look like that, what are you doing?
Well, I don't know where they're spending their money.
Right. They get not on Mystique's makeup. Mystique's face, she just was spray painted blue. She didn't even have the scales anymore.
They weren't even trying.
I was like, man, it just looks so bad.
Have I told you the theory around being sucked out of a movie? Have I told you this? This isn't even mine. This is my dad's.
Okay.
I got to give my dad credit on this.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
props.
And I'm about to blow up my parents a little bit here.
Ooh,
but
all right.
This is actually hilarious. So my dad, he talks about when he watches movies.
Yeah.
He's in the movie.
Yeah.
He is there with them.
Me
he's
too.
He's not a character, but he's like a bystander watching the movie, like alongside.
Like an out-of-body experience.
Right.
Like you're floating over it.
So he talks about.
I'm the same way.
Favorite story was he's watching Independence Day, one of the best
I love that
movies.
movie.
They are about to penetrate the mothership.
Yeah, Will Smith.
He's riding with Will Smith.
Oh, so
he
good.
is going into the mothership.
Yeah.
And then my mom and my sister call him to deal with something with one of my sister's friends. Yeah. And he's sucked out of the movie. And he's like, what is going on?
Where am I?
So he talks about constantly how it's like he's in the movie. And my mom is not in the movie. She's never in the movie. She's never there.
Yeah.
And bear with me, Legion. I know this is a little bit meandering, but she's never in the movie. She's on her phone. She fell asleep. She came back. What did I miss? We're 3 seconds in the movie. What are they talking about? I don't know. I know as much as you do about this movie. So my dad is constantly, he's like, I'm being sucked out. I'm back in. I'm sucked out. I'm back in. And that's basically what happens here.
Yeah.
Is I got invested in this first 20 to 25 minutes of the movie. And then they turn this villain and they show it to me. And I am completely pulled out of the movie. I know I was watching this with Carly, and I'm watching it, and I remember in that exact moment being like, all right, I'm gonna go get something from the kitchen. I need a drink. I'm gonna go get a snack real quick. I'm completely done.
Yeah, just out of it.
Yeah. Sorry for that meandering analogy.
That's okay.
But I felt like it.
I like that.
I felt like it stuck here. I was in it, and then I was way out.
I'll have to watch a movie with your dad. I feel like I watch movies the same exact way.
Well, if you watch a movie with my dad, it's the same way as if you watch a movie by yourself. You're in the movie.
Well, then it's perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly the point.
The key is don't watch a movie with my mom.
Fair enough. All right.
Sorry, Mom.
I'll still watch a movie. I will.
I'll watch a movie that I've already watched.
That's right. There you go. All right. Our final gripe against this film.
Is this the last one?
This is the last one. It's the big one, man. And it's one we talk about a lot, but this one in particular just... Yeah.
Let out your inner rage, Greg.
Oh, man. Comic inaccurate characters, man.
Tap into it.
It's so bad. All right. I'm going to actually start with... I'll start with the smallest crime.
And work your way up. Yes,
right?
Smallest crime
and the
to biggest
smallest crime, believe it or not, is Jean Grey. She's the smallest crime.
I would actually agree with that. Knowing where you're going with some of the other characters, I 100% agree. She was the smallest crime because, it was more that Sophie Turner was not that great. She didn't fit the role.
The writing wasn't the best, but in all honesty, the biggest change that they made for her was that in the comics she never killed her parents. Or spoiler again, her mother. Yeah. Because her father lives. But she didn't kill her parents. She had a great relationship with her parents. They loved her. They supported her. They brought her to Professor X. They worked with him. That was honestly the biggest change.
Yeah.
Everything else was excusable for her. So that was the first. But after that, man, it just goes. So
well, correct me if I'm wrong though. Yeah. The way that Professor X put up barriers for her is also different than in the comics as well.
Somewhat. Depends on what storyline you're in. And I appreciated what they did with Professor X in this one, because if you remember in Last Stand, they also did the mental barrier thing.
Right.
But they made it kind of creepy and
real creepy.
It was just he never
acknowledges his fault.
He didn't, because he got blown up. I mean, I love when he got blown up. Well, he got evaporated.
He got dusted.
He got dusted. Yeah, that's true. He got dusted. She did it first.
Yep.
But yeah, so he never got a chance to actually come full circle in his arc. Whereas in this movie, I actually liked the fact that McAvoy's Professor X came full circle and he realized his mistakes and he repented of them and he moved forward from them and he learned from them.
He was able to come full circle.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. And in the comics, he does put up barriers and he does put up more than she knows.
Okay.
There's definitely a higher level of trust portrayed in the comics.
Yeah.
Than in this one. It's a little more like she knows he's putting up more, but she doesn't know to the extent he's going, but she trusts what he's doing in the comics.
Gotcha.
So it's
again, a little bit different, but that's
excusable.
Nitpicky.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
So Mystique, Mystique's character and death. All right. The first thing when Mystique died, I was like, One, I was like, why?
Right.
Because they made it like she's this mother figure to Jean, but
you knew it was
we never
coming.
saw any of that.
You knew it was coming. It's one of those deaths that you could have written on the wall.
Yeah.
Like at least 10 minutes before it happened.
Yeah, and it was why, and then who cares? Like you said, she was useless in the first mission. And she just, like, who cares? Like, I didn't care. There was nothing.
Nope, not
at
no
this caring
point.
about
I would
this
have
character.
cared so much more about Mystique dying in Apocalypse.
Yes.
With the way that they set up her storyline, the way that she was the mother figure
even
to
Days
them.
of Future Past.
She had saved so many of them.
Yeah. She
Either
was a
of
symbol
those.
of that.
She was a symbol.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. Kill her then.
Yeah.
If you're going to kill her then.
But that goes back to the biggest sin against her in that she's not the Mystique from the comics at all.
No.
Mystique has never been a good guy in the comics, ever. Even in Age of Apocalypse, where everybody was kind of different, she was still an informant. She wasn't like a good guy. Like, she's never been a good guy. We lost all sense of the battle between good and evil with her. She's just a good guy. Like,
coming out of Apocalypse,
it's so weird.
She's straight up the leader of the X-Men.
Right. Like, Days of Future Past ended great because it was still like, she's a bad guy. She does some good things sometimes.
Well,
she's fighting back and forth.
Anti-hero.
Yeah,
she's
an
going
anti-hero. Back and forth, which is okay. It's still not great. Mystique's a bad guy. Just let Mystique be a bad guy. They wanted to build a franchise around Jennifer Lawrence because she won an Oscar and she was in the Hunger Games and people love her.
Yeah.
But she stunk in this. Like, it was just bad, and Mystique shouldn't be a good guy.
Sure.
It was so bad.
Agreed.
Do you have any, or do you want me to keep going?
You're on a roll, sir. I've got stuff, but you keep going. I'll chime in when I need to, apparently.
All right, Nightcrawler. You mentioned this a little bit before.
Yeah.
So Nightcrawler, fantastic. Love the guy who plays him. He was great in Apocalypse. One of the few things I liked in Apocalypse was the way he acted as Nightcrawler. I thought it was fantastic. He was started great in this movie. Started really, really, really good. So one thing you need to know about Nightcrawler is that Kurt is a pacifist.
Pause right there.
Yeah.
This is the thing I wanted to be able to name.
Yeah, go for it.
That isn't clearly defined at any point in these movies.
No, not in.
My point is, it should have been.
Oh, sure.
It should have been a lot more clear, and then
X2, it was clear. X2, he was a
X2. But my point is, with the new the First Class series with their run, it's never been defined that he is a pacifist. And that is a major plot hole. That is a major miss in his character development, because without that, like, they talk about it. It's a little bit covered in Apocalypse when he's on the fence and he's like, I don't want to fight you, Angel. And it's like, well, if we don't fight, they'll kill us both. Like, and it's like, whatever. But it's not clear here. And then they make this huge character swing that never would happen.
Yeah, exactly. And even though they don't outright say it, there's proof of it, and they write him that way.
They've set it up enough, but I still would.
Everything's
it still
defensive.
Needed to be done.
Yeah. Well, regardless, any true Nightcrawler fan or X-Men fan of that generation of X-Men would know that he's not a violent dude. The only time he was ever violent was in Age of Apocalypse when he was a mercenary. But that was an alternate timeline.
Right.
So that was okay. So he's always been a pacifist. And then on the train at the end of the movie, which is the reshoots apparently, he just kills everybody.
Loses his mind.
Kills everyone.
Here's the thing.
I mean, it was cool. But it was like, what is happening? Why?
Nightcrawler, at his essence, he has to be a pacifist.
Yeah.
His power is too great for him not to be a pacifist.
Yeah,
because at any point, he could just straight up disappear, reappear behind you, slit your throat.
Yep.
Which is what he did.
Yep.
Repeatedly.
All over the place, man.
Everyone.
Killing everybody.
He just went ahead on a killing spree.
And, like, screaming and stuff.
He snapped. And it's like, it made it seem as though, like, he had been getting bent and bent.
Like,
and
pent
bent.
up.
Like,
Yeah, it was all
pent up aggression.
Yeah.
It wasn't pent up aggression. He had no pent up aggression.
I don't know what happened.
There was no building up of frustration in him that we saw, at least.
Not really.
And then this was the straw that broke the camel's back. That didn't happen.
Right. We have no character development of him struggling with containing his anger.
Right.
And you know what it was? It was some writer who didn't know Nightcrawler but they knew his power, and they were
hire us.
You know, it would be sick if we could just. That power would be really cool to do this, and they're right.
He'd be a great assassin.
They're right.
They are right.
But they're wrong because Nightcrawler.
He doesn't do that.
Like, come on. Oh,
right.
All right, worst one.
Bring it.
All right, worst one.
Bring the noise, Grab.
Vuck.
Vuck.
That's it.
That's it.
We're done.
We're done.
Cut
it off.
Roll. Cut camera.
We're done.
No, so Vuck and the Dabari. All right, so Vuck is a real character.
We know that. Yeah.
So the Dabari homeworld in the comics was destroyed by the Phoenix entity.
Sure.
But the homeworld was destroyed after it had already taken over Jean.
Yeah.
All right, so in the movie, it's apparently destroyed.
By Jean?
No, by the entity.
Within Jean.
No, before Jean was even there. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
so
I got you.
In the movie, it was destroyed before it even came into contact with Jean. In the comics, Jean went and destroyed it.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. That's what I was referring to was in the comics. Yes, gotcha.
So Vuck in the comics is the sole survivor of the Dabari species. Now, that's obviously not the case here. That's not the case here because there are like 15 or 20 other Dabari that go all over the place.
Do you realize
there's a whole bunch.
More
that
than
train
15
scene,
or 20.
there's like
train scene. They
like
keep on
50.
bringing in helicopter after helicopter, dropping them in.
Yeah. So there's a lot more. So Vuck is not the only one, right? Now in the comics, Vuck is determined to kill Phoenix as vengeance for his planet, not to take a hold of the power.
Boy, that would be a pretty good storyline.
It would, because he wants to destroy this universe-conquering killer.
Right.
That's what he wants to do in order to save other planets from running into the same fate his planet ran into.
Could have just done that.
Right, exactly. So that was that. The Dabari also cannot shapeshift in the comics whatsoever. No. Now, the one thing that they do kind of point to a little bit is that Vuck, when he first got to Earth, when he was tracking Phoenix, he did wear a mask.
Okay.
That looked like
in the comics you're talking
in the
about.
Comics.
Because you're saying he.
Oh, yeah,
in the
Vuck's
comics,
a dude.
It's a guy.
Yeah,
and
not Jessica Chastain.
Not Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. Now, Vuck in the movie might be a guy, too. He just takes possession of the girl's
female form.
Yeah, I guess.
Got it.
Anyway, but regardless, Vuck wears like this really horrible Scooby-Doo-esque human mask to hide.
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for your pesky X-Men.
It wasn't for that
and your dog
entity.
Too.
Don't call Beast a dog. Are you kidding?
I didn't call Beast a dog.
Hank McCoy
I just said
is
a dog too. I was assuming it could have been any dog.
All right, Wolverine.
You're the one who came up with Wolverine. Ridiculous.
Well, regardless,
ridiculous.
This is not the same Vuck at all.
I was actually assuming Scooby-Doo was a mutant.
Oh, he could talk. He's a dog that can talk.
Think about it.
True.
Think about it.
It would have been a better movie than this.
Probably.
If Scooby-Doo turned out to be a mutant.
If Scooby-Doo showed up
been
in
a better
this movie,
movie.
would have been a better movie.
I would have enjoyed it.
If the mystery, even if just
the villain
mystery mobile showed up in this
movie. Just parked on the street in one of the
parked
scenes.
On the street. Honestly, if the ending of this movie had ended like a Scooby-Doo TV show.
Yeah.
Where they pull off
Jessica Chastain's face and it'd be
like,
Vuck.
Oh!
I would have gotten away from it.
Yeah. That would have been a better movie.
Anything would have been. You know what would have been a better movie? If it ended after the space rescue.
20 minutes in?
Just ended
20 minutes
in. Done.
That would have been a better
movie. That would have been it. Short film, X-Men, finished.
X-Men, Dark Phoenix, and it's just her emergence.
Becoming the Phoenix. And then they give it to a better group of writers.
Right.
Who read the comic books.
Right.
And want to actually make a good movie. I don't get it, man. All right.
I don't know where they went with this, man.
Verdict time?
Verdict.
Gee whiz.
You know, I've been normally doing the verdicts.
I
feel like you need this one. I've rode a high of Batman films.
That's true.
It's
all
your
the good
turn.
stuff.
Tell us what we need to fix.
Yeah, well, it's all in fairness. I've gotten good stuff with the, Winter Soldier. That's all been good. So I don't mind doing a bad one on my end of
the
of the creek. So verdict. It's easy, man. The verdict is easy. Don't be scared of your writing. Stick with what you've written.
Right.
Don't be scared.
Right.
Don't change things just because you feel pressure from other studios or whatever. Stick to the story you had.
That's a really good verdict.
Right?
That's a good point.
That's one. Two is the one we tell all these movies, man. Stick to your comic characters. Just stick to them.
Right.
Like you don't have to do it exactly the exact same way, right? We talk about things that worked, right? John Walker, great example in Falcon Winter Soldier, right? He's different. He's different than in the comics. In the comics, he and actually we didn't talk about this in the podcast, so I'll add it here. Little tidbit.
Little added bonus.
Just a little sprinkle.
Little sprinkle.
Right? So in the comics, Walker ends up getting his super soldier serum from the power broker to become superpowered.
Okay.
He goes to the power broker and starts trying to defame the name of Captain America with the help of the power broker.
Okay.
And then eventually he ends up getting kind of brainwashed-y, mind control-y by the American government to become the next Captain America after Steve steps away.
Gotcha.
So it's different, right? But the root of the character is the same.
Right.
He's angry. He's violent. He gets the super soldier serum that amplifies those things. He thinks he's doing the right thing for his country, but he's not. And he comes across in opposition to the rightful Captain America. Like, it's all the same foundations. They shifted a little bit to tell their narrative, but they stuck to the characters. So stick to those characters, man.
And I would argue, though, that second point doesn't even need to be made if they do the first point.
Sure.
And here's
Most
my
likely,
reasoning is all the people that you named as not being comic accurate, not all. Let me pull back, but the two biggest ones that you named were because of the rewriting.
Yeah.
So Vuk and Kurt, both of those characters, both of the issues were caused and took place during the train and because of the reshoots.
Yeah.
Had they just stuck with the original storyline, they would have addressed your biggest complaint. And just stick with your movie.
Yeah.
Trust your movie. Put it out there for audiences to either like or dislike.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't end up on our show.
Actually, you know what? Keep doing what you're doing.
You know what?
We need to keep doing
you
this.
You make our bread and butter.
That's
here.
right.
That's right. We need more movies. Put out any movie.
Yeah, just we'll take anything at this point.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every Monday.
And Wednesdays.
No, just Mondays.
And Wednesdays?
I don't think we can do Wednesdays.
We can do Wednesdays.
All right, Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same Legion.